When we talk about search engine optimization, then we must also talk about Google. Google is at this stage one of the major search engines that are being used most widely by the most people. There are other search engines, but it does seem that Google is the one setting the trend and most of the others should follow. Google has implemented a number of things into how it actually searches the web when people type in a sentence or a keyword. And so we will also just mention a few of those things. There is two major tools when looking about to customize and improve your website's search ranking that I think you should use. Most of the time we have already added your website to these two tools, and all you will need to do is create your own account and forward us the Gmail address that you use to create that account, and we will share your account information with you. The reason why we have already implemented these tools on your website is so that we can do some of the basic implementation of search engine optimization. Now, the first tool is Google Analytics. You would simply go to google.com/analytics. And if you have a Gmail account, you would click here, create an account nonetheless, and then use your Gmail address to actually start up that account. The other tool that is just as good for you to actually get is Webmaster Tools. Webmaster Tools as well is a great advantage, and it helps you in many ways. Both of these applications is far greater than we can cover in this basic seminar. What you do need to realize is that once you've got these accounts created and set up, then you will have access to much information about those accounts, which are very useful. Let's watch this short clip.
The internet is amazing. It's easy to share anything you create with the entire world, like Alice. She just opened an online store for her handmade jewelry. But now she's wondering, can people find her site on Google? With Google Webmaster Tools, Alice can make sure that Google finds her store and shows it for the correct search queries. Webmaster Tools displays the errors that Google finds when reading her site, so Alice can check those errors and fix them to make all her pages appear in search results. Every time Alice creates a new product page, she can use Webmaster Tools to see if other people link to it and how often the page appears in Google search results. She can use that data to discover the most successful pages and products in her store, so she can focus on that and increase traffic to her site. Webmaster Tools also regularly checks her site for malware and other problems, and will even send an email alert if it finds important issues. Now Alice can be sure that everything is okay with her site with Google Webmaster Tools.
That was a quick look at the Webmaster Tools. Now, I think if you come to Google Analytics, this is mostly used to show you the amount of traffic, from where that traffic has come, what kind of keywords was used in Google to find your website, and many more very useful information, which we can then take to the website and implement changes to improve your search engine ranking. We have been working on a few clients' websites already where we've implemented some of these tools to a certain measure. And so let's look at one of those now. We would go to Google and type in LG, and immediately it will bring up a list of websites that it's found in relations to Namibia, of which our client's website is number 2 currently. It's been at the number 1 for a long time, and so we could look at why it's not there anymore. But then if you type in LG, let's say DVD player. There it is, showing at number 1. And if you click on this, it will take you to their website. Number 2. If you type in here Cloud9, oops, it also shows them, Cloud9. You see that there it's in the meta information. It shows the name again. If you were to type in here rest assured, oops, then they also come up first. And if you were to type in Puma, they come in 1, 2, 3, 4th, just below another client of ours. So we see that there is really advantages in making some search engine changes to your website using Webmaster Tools and a few simple tricks. Now, looking at some of these tricks, it's not really such a big trick, but let's say you want to target a specific word. Let's say you want to have your website feature when somebody types in sport. Here we have one of our clients coming up first. Now if he in the first list. Now if he wanted to be number 1, what we would usually do is we would look at the website that currently is rated number 1 and then open that website. Once that website is open, there is a feature that basically hides the website and shows you the code, and that is called looking at the source code. So it's a view page source code. Once you've clicked on that, you would see that, well, you see a lot of information here to see if you find any meta information. I've quickly scanned through the site and I see that they do not have meta information. That means that they might be doing other things to advance their ranking. Meta information is not that much of an important concept today, as many other factors also play a role in your search engine optimization. I will be looking at one extra feature that I think is important, but before we go to that, we want to first finish the concept of meta tags and meta description. Here is another site that also came up in the first page when we searched for sport. If we look at its source code, we'll see that it does have meta name, a description. With a long description, I think is a little bit too long. A good description is like a 1 sentence. And then they have a lot of keywords. Keywords that they have placed into their website so that the search engines know what this page is about. A lot of things has changed since this old technology, the meta tag technology, because people started abusing it. People were putting lies in these content and description and stuff, and so websites would load, you'll be searching for something and then it's just a bunch of ads, or it's not relevant to what you were looking for. I'm sure you might still encounter that. And so to improve that, Google has actually advanced to a different method, which we will mention in a moment. But we still, I think, nonetheless implement the meta tag option because it is definitely of importance for other search engines still. Now, to implement, for example, this kind of meta tag into your website, you would go to the menu that you used to create that specific page. So in our case, we would go to main menu, and then let's go to home. Now, since you've got your competitor's site open and you know what keywords they've used to achieve their ranking, and of course there's other things that you might also need to take in consideration, and that would be the number of links that they have on this page, and where they pay other websites to which they may link, and if those websites are linking back to them, and their content being relevant to those meta tags that we've just looked at, and other things like that, all play a role in bringing up your website into this first page when searching for a specific thing. Now, taking that information that you've just found, you would add the meta description in here, and the keywords you would separate with comma in this block here. Do not make these keywords too many. In fact, I think oftentimes you would be penalized for that. If you have set up a number of links on your website, let's say on the, for example, the home page, so you've linked to one of your friends' website, or maybe a supplier's website or something, and they have linked back to you, then it would be good for you to select this index and follow option. Index and follow would basically allow Google to index that page. That means keep it in its memory and follow every link that is on that page. Now, if they follow the link on that page and they get to your supplier or your friend's website, and then on that website they find a link back to you, that is what is called backlinking, and that is what is really beneficial to your website. So as many as possible backlinks to your website and from your website to other websites is preferable, and does advance your search engine optimization process. What also is important is that if you for some reason do not have a backlink, or let's say you do link to things but it's just on your own website, you might want them to index it and not follow. These features and how they function the best for your website really takes a lot of practice and testing to really find what is best for that specific page. I most of the time would use index and follow as the default setting for your robots, and then obviously if you do not have an SSL certificate on your website, then you can just ignore this feature. In fact, most of the times we will be the responsible to setting these to the correct toggle, to the correct selection. Okay, then having made these changes, you would simply click save. So let us just save this like that. And then we'll refresh your home page. And also you can look at page source. Now you will see it says keywords, there it is, you see, and the robot can index and follow, and the description is here. There are a few other things you could also add. For example, you could add a browser page title, call it home of the demo and save. Refresh the page. Now you see it's updated this title here in the browser, and if you look at the source code now, it's also added this title to the source code over here. This is good since Google also would be looking at the title of your page. Now, to look at that other concept that I mentioned previously, that I know that Google has started using, and if you start implementing this on your website, it will definitely be of a great advantage. This requires us to install an extra application onto your website, and for most of you, we have done that since our arrangement includes these features. If you for some reason do not have this feature and you might want it, then please do communicate with us. The website that you would need to go to first would be this one, schema.org. Now, you should do well by just reading as much as you can on this website. There's documentation. Very soon, if you start clicking into these things, you'll run into code. And you'd see most of the time it's simple HTML code that we are talking about. What you would notice though is that there is extra HTML concepts being added. If you know something about HTML, you will notice that these tags here is not common. It's not been used that often in HTML, and it's completely in connection with schema. It's what Google is now mostly using to really, I would say, drill down into your content. And it's a way for you to add the necessary tags to your content to show them what is on the page. And yes, it's definitely a little bit more advanced, but I think through the application that we have added to your websites, it will sort of remove some of these advanced concepts and make it more user friendly. So let's look at that application next.